My name is Ken Griner. I'm here in Chiefland, Florida, Usher Land and Timber. Glad to be here in the cow business. A lot of people don't know that Florida even has cows, but we do have cows and we like to think we have good ones. Here today, you're here to talk about the Florida Fed Beef Challenge. And then when I think about what made us able to win and be the overall winner in the Fed Beef Challenge, it has to first of all go back to the genetics and the animals that we are making here at Usher Land and Timber. For us, it started with a long journey a long time ago, sitting down at the table and deciding you either had to be in the cow business as cheaply as possible, or either you need to do it the best you could possibly do it. And so we decided to do it the best we could. And for us, that means you got to retain ownership, or either you don't get rewarded for that kind of performance.
Well, since we've been retaining ownership on our cattle that we feed in the Midwest, we thought we'd design an animal that worked really good in this environment and also in the feedlot. In the last few years, we decided that we'd start raising bulls with a neighbor across town that really we have the same genetics. He just does it a little more scientifically than we do. These are the same genetics that we put through a feedlot, and we think that they're designed to do really well in this climate, but also perform in a feedlot environment.
When we sat down and kind of designed what we were looking for, Angus was the cornerstone of that, because you've got to have marbling, and because of the success of the Angus breed commercially and at the dinner table. From there, you know, we wanted Charolais for the muscle and the red meat, because ultimately we are selling pounds, and that's maybe a most significant economic driver. The third thing in Florida that we needed was some Bos Indicas, which for us is Brahman influence, because it adds a little bit of heat tolerance, pest tolerance, short hair, and for us it adds a little pop on our heterosis that you get unlike any other crossbreed. So we've started a branded beef program called Florida Cattle Ranchers, and it's designed to take advantage of cattle just like these. They'll perform with any cattle anywhere. So we're pleased, and we're pleased that we've been able to feed them in the Midwest, but we've also come back, fed them and finished them here in Florida, and they've performed just as well. Well, we've been using Multimin for quite some time. I don't know the exact number of years, but it's a valuable tool, and we probably have only scratched the surface here of what we can benefit from having use of it, and of all the things that we do in our regular cow herd. We started running grass cattle and had country in Kansas in the Flint Hills 20-some few years ago, and for me, I guess it was quite a awakening, spending that much time around cattle in the Midwest and looking at the bone and the structure of those cattle compared to our cattle in Florida, which tended to be a little more fine bone. And my thought process was, well, if mineral is what makes a difference, why can't we fix that at home? Corey and I were talking about our forages here and our soil here in Florida. When you compare them to our country that we've had in the Midwest, our minerals within our forages are not up to par, so it's something you've got to monitor and be aggressive about as far as mineral use. And certainly when you think about Multimin, it can help fill those voids that we have in the way we feed minerals in any application, because all of us tend to feed it free choice, and when you do that, animals are herdy, cows are herdy, and when one leaves, they're all leaving. So even though we have been very aggressive and always thought about ourselves as doing a really good job with mineral, doesn't mean but about half our animals, maybe even more, are properly, supplemented.
Ask for Multimin 90 at your local veterinary clinic.